up, world? Welcome to my channel. I am Vivia, and this is episode 6 of my vlog. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about water. Woo! Hey, let's get into it. Allegedly, reportedly, the body is made up of 50 to 75% water. One of the main things people tell you in the process to releasing weight or excess fat is to drink more water. People love to say that. Drink more water, drink more water, drink more water, drink more water. And it got on my nerves when I first was starting my journey, because people were always like, well, you know, if you just drink more water, that'll make such a difference. I literally wanted to slap people. I heard it so many times. But it is true. Water is so essential to your body. It literally has several benefits. I'm going to read some of them off. Water is the primary building block for your cells. That's pretty important. Water acts as the insulator in your body. It regulates your internal body temperature. That's interesting. Water is needed to metabolize proteins and carbohydrates that we use as food. Water lubricates your joints. Water lubricates your brain, spinal cord, and your organs. Water is used to flush out toxins and waste out of your body. Water is the primary solvent in your body that dissolves the minerals and vitamins that are necessary in your body. And water carries oxygen and other nutrients to your cells. That's enough for me to believe water is important. When I started out on my journey, it was challenging for me to come off of all of the sugary drinks that I was doing. Like, I wasn't one of those people who drank a lot of pop. I'm from South Chicago. We call it pop. Some of you people may call it soda or cola or soda pop. We just cut off the soda and we call it pop because that's what it is. It's pop. P-O-P. Just so you know. So I wasn't one of those people that drank a lot of pop or anything like that, but I did start off by reducing the amount of pop that I had, and I would go down to drinking juice. Well, come to find out, in many situations, some juices were worse than pop. So I had to slowly wean myself off of these sugary drinks that I thought I was in love with, but that just weren't loving my body and were in fact doing more harm to my body than I could have ever imagined. One of the things that I started out doing, I would get those little packets of, I don't know, like flavoring or whatever that you would put in your water bottle to make it taste good. And I kid you not, I lived off of these things for a couple years maybe, until one day I had a roommate who said to me, you know, you drink a lot of those things and they have aspartame in them, and that's dangerous to your body. Now, pause. Because this chick was skinny and I really wasn't trying to hear anything she had to say to me about health. Because from what I could tell, she didn't struggle a day in her life. Which is another situation that I often have challenges with. Thin people telling me how to release weight. Unless you can show me some physical pictures for when you were over 300 pounds, then you really don't have anything to say to me. But at the end of the day, everyone has their own journey. And I have learned to respect people in their journey and take what's for me and leave the bums. Most of the time, they don't have anything that they can say to me. I'm just saying. You have to show me where you've been through my struggle for real. Back to these singles. So I legit lived off of these things. I loved them. Like, they were the next best thing for me if I couldn't have pop or juice. However, some years later, I did discover that what that girl was saying to me was true. These often have a lot of chemicals. If you look at it, it's a bunch of stuff that, yeah, some of it you might be able to pronounce, but majority of it, if not all, is not something that your body needs or that your body can properly process or that is good for your body, basically. So I stopped doing these. Now, the only reason I have a pack today is because I went to the dollar store and I was this close to buying a cherry Coke, but I said, no, Vivia, you need to stay focused. And I looked up at all the different flavors and I saw crushed pineapple and I said, my God, who created such a thing? And I quickly grabbed a box. Later on, I eventually put it in my water, and I could literally taste the chemicals. It was not good. Like, it was good at the first taste, but the aftertaste was just like, yeah, I can taste the unhealthiness of this. I'm probably not gonna return it. I'll probably just throw it out, or keeping it 100. I might just keep it in the house for those days when I'm feeling like I really gotta have something. Because in reality, for me, even though these are not good for you, at the end of the day, and again, I recommend you all do your own research, get to learn why it's not healthy for you, etc. But for me, this was better than me getting a cherry Coke, which is one of my favorites, as well as Pineapple Crush, as well as Tahitian Treat. So if you ever want to know what my favorite pops are, I just told you. At any rate, I had to wean myself off of these. So what I later began to do was try to just do it with tea. So I would start to do teas as a way to try to get more water in. But I wasn't always wanting hot tea, or it would be summertime and I really wasn't feeling having no hot tea. And as I started to grow, one of the things that I really noticed was when I would go to hotels and they would have like the big water pitchers with all this stuff in it. And I would be like, oh, let me try some of this water. And it would be so good. And it would be these different flavors. Like one would have oranges and limes and lemons, and another one would have strawberries and mint. Just stuff that I didn't even know you could put in water. And then there was other waters with cucumber. Now, I didn't even, back then, this was a couple years ago, I didn't even mess with cucumber like that. But when I tasted the cucumber water, I was very grateful, and I fell in love with cucumber water. So cucumbers quickly became one of the things that I like to put in water. Although it's one of those things where I'll like it for a little bit and then I'll get tired of it and then I have to switch and do something else. So some other things that I've come to love to put in my water. Lemon. Lemon water is allegedly, reportedly, very detoxifying and very good for you. I say allegedly, reportedly, because like I said, you gotta do your own research. I learned quickly that it's good to get up in the morning and have some hot water with lemon. I also, at this stage now, I didn't do this back then, but now I usually will have hot water with lemon, cayenne pepper, and a teensy-weensy bit of Himalayan pink salt. I had to wean myself into it, so I used to add like agave. Some people add honey, but for me, I'm working on limiting my sugar, so I don't really add that anymore. Another thing that I really have come to love in my water is limes. I love limes. And this is just another option. I get tired of lemon, I'll switch and do a lime. Or sometimes I mix in the lemon with the cucumber or the lime with the cucumber. It's important for me, and I encourage others to try it also, to switch it up and just find what you like. But putting fruits in your water really can help. There's been times where I wanted to just experiment and I would take frozen fruit and put it in my water. And it was okay, but it's not as good, in my opinion, as fresh fruits. It just doesn't even taste that fresh. Something else I like to put in my water, mint leaves. I found these leaves. They're actually purple and green, which was so cool. I found them at like an Asian grocery store. But I loved to put like mint leaves along with my lemon in the water as well. It gives it a nice taste. Basil, I don't usually do this. I think I've only tried it once. But basil is allegedly, reportedly, really good in water. And especially like when you put it with like strawberries. So I need to actually get to a point where I try more things and experiment more with what I put in my water. Speaking of mint, I found out from a naturopath that I went to see when I was living in Atlanta. She suggested that I get this and put it in my water and drink it every day. And what this is liquid chlorophyll. I don't know if you all remember when we was kids and they would teach us about photosynthesis and chlorophyll. Well, chlorophyll is one of those essential parts that's necessary for plants, and actually it's very beneficial in our body. I'll read off some of the benefits of chlorophyll. Some of the benefits of chlorophyll include: it helps control your hunger and cravings. Chlorophyll controls body odor. Chlorophyll encourages healing. Chlorophyll could protect the body's DNA from fried food, allegedly, reportedly, because I'm like, really? But that's no excuse to be eating chicken and such. I'm just saying. Chlorophyll is a super potent antioxidant. Chlorophyll can be considered as a promising potential cancer therapy. Chlorophyll is effective against candida. Chlorophyll relieves redness and swelling. And chlorophyll also promotes healthy iron levels, which is important to me because allegedly, reportedly, I love to say that, I have had challenges with my iron in the past, and so I like to get it in. Now, of those things that I just read off, I know for sure that chlorophyll has cleansing benefits and that it definitely helps with your body odor. To the point where I remember I would come across people who, I don't encourage this, but I would come across people who did not believe in using deodorant. These are people who are very far into their naturopath lifestyle. But I could definitely tell the difference when I use liquid chlorophyll and when I don't, in regards to when I sweat, the odor, etc. Of course, it also includes what you eat as well. So liquid chlorophyll, I buy it off of Amazon. You can also go to some health food stores and find it. And essentially it tastes like minty. It gives it like a minty flavor. So you don't want to put a lot. I've seen some people who put a lot of chlorophyll in their water. I don't really know what the healthy amount is that you should put. You can research that if you want, but I just put it until it feels like, okay, that's enough. I try not to overdo it just in case. You can overdo it. You might can't, you never know. About the amount of water that you need to drink. I remember being told a person should have 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. That depends on what size the glasses are. I think a lot of times this was based off of it being 8 ounces of water a day. But then I was told a person should drink half their weight in water. And back when I was well close to 350, 375, that was a lot of water for me to be drinking. And I really was not here for that, drinking all that water. So what I come to do is just strive to do my best with water. I also had a trainer who suggested that I just at least do a gallon of water a day, and he promoted distilled water. To this day, I'm not 100% sure why. I never really dug deep into the research, but I have started to better understand and look into the importance of doing alkaline water. I can personally tell a difference when I drink alkaline water versus when I drink some other kind of water. But I did used to go around with a gallon of water with me all the time. That became really challenging when it got hot outside, because even if I froze the water and if I didn't have it with me everywhere I go, lugging around a gallon of water, it wasn't hot for me. And sometimes I would start to feel like I ain't really feeling this water. I don't even want to drink it, you know? So that didn't really work for me in the long run. But I do work towards having alkaline water. If you can get a water system in your house, cool. I have not gotten to the point where I'm able to do that. It is an investment in yourself and your health. But I do go out and I buy bottled water. One of the waters that I've come to really love is ESSENTIA. Ooh, it tastes so different. It really tastes different. Like, if you haven't tried this water, just go out and try it. For real. Woo! Legit. Like, I can literally taste the difference. I've seen people do videos about how fancy it is, and it's like the crystal of water. I don't know about all that, but I just know this is some good water. And I aim to drink 2 of these a day. It has not been happening. I'm going to just keep it 100. But I have been at least getting in 1 to 1.5 a day. And then I drink my tea, etc. Other ways that I would aim to keep water on me is bottles like this. So maybe I would have a jug like this in the refrigerator, but then I would fill this up and then take another bottle with me and drink off of it, and then have this in the car and it stays cold. So if you can get some of these bottles, I highly recommend it. I actually got this bottle from Walmart for like $12. Totally worth it. And I've been meaning to go back and get a couple more because I legit love these bottles. If you want it to be cold, it's gonna stay cold. If you want it to be hot, it's gonna stay hot. But you gotta put it in there hot, or you gotta put it in there cold. However you want it, that's how it's gonna keep it. So yeah, I think that's about it when it comes to water. At the end of the day, you guys, I'm not perfect with it. You may not be perfect with it, but at least start somewhere. If you know you don't drink no water in a day, go ahead and start. Let me at least get in 1 bottle a day. And then maybe the next day or even the next week, whatever your stage is at, go to 2 bottles a day and just continue to grow it. And I can tell you from my experience that I've learned that I can see the difference when I am drinking more water versus when I'm not. I've never been a coffee drinker, one of those people who just gotta have some coffee. That just ain't my MO. I am a fan of tea, lemon tea in the morning, things like that. I only would drink coffee when I'm feeling like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And that's pretty rare, like maybe a couple of times a month, if that. So I'm just not into coffee. I've learned to definitely reduce the amount of pop and juice. I can even taste it now when I go to drink those things. And I notice the only time I'm really craving for like pop is when I'm stressed. Because it has some type, it's got that hit. We talked about this, me and the sugar. It'd be like a crack hit. And I be wanting that cherry Coke, but I push not to do it. So, and at the end of the day, if you can't get alkaline water or distilled water or spring water, then hey, that's just your situation. And keep in mind, there's people in countries who cannot even get access to clean water. There's people in the United States, Flint, Michigan, God bless y'all, who cannot get access to clean water, unfortunately, which is insane. And so any water is better than no water to an extent. Some water is better than no water, and so forth and so on. In fact, for those of you who are able and have the heart to, one of my favorite organizations from a church that I attended when I was living in South Chicago, New Faith Baptist Church International. Hey y'all, God bless y'all. Has an organization called the Joseph Assignment. I'm going to put the link below. They do a wonderful job of giving back and helping to provide clean water resources in Africa as well as here in the States, including Flint, Michigan. And so I'll put a link to them. You can check out the Joseph Assignment and what they're doing. If you're able to contribute, that would be great. If you're in the Chicagoland area and you want to go and find a way how you can work with them, the information will be there as well. At the end of the day, we're fortunate to be able to have access to clean water, period. And yes, your body needs water, and you may not start off tomorrow drinking a gallon a day. There's been a lot of days that I haven't been getting a gallon a day in, but I can tell the difference when I don't. And it's just vital to make an effort to do more than you did before. Each day we get better, we get stronger. Each day I get better, I get stronger and wiser. And some days are better than others. That's just what it is. So now let's get into how my week was looking. This is my second week of my 21-day transformation. This week was challenging for me. Woo! It was challenging. I would say it was more challenging for me. I feel like I'm about to cry. I'm not gonna cry. It was more challenging for me on the mental tip. There were a handful of times I looked like I didn't rise above my thoughts, my cravings. And so I slipped up at least 3 times. At least 3 times this week. And every time I was like, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to beat myself up. And I just went on to make a better choice the next time. And that's what it's all about. I also made an effort to prepare myself for what was to come. Because last week I found myself rushing out to take care of business and not preparing what I'm going to eat. And that's what has been an issue this week. And I found myself really doing the effort mode, and that was not the move. And so let me show you guys how it looked in regards to me preparing. Okay, so this is what it looks like in my freezer. My freezer is pretty much just frozen fruits and vegetables. That's pretty much all I have in here. You can see these jars. What I do is I blend my smoothies up, and it's a whole bunch of green goodness, and I put them in here, and I take them out in the morning so that they can be ready for me to drink in the afternoon. A lot of times I put them in the car, and what happened one day this week, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I took one out, I left it in the car, I went to do a production and ended up being there more hours than I intended or thought it would be, and when I came back the smoothie was just crazy hot, so I could not drink it. So sometimes this tactic works and sometimes it doesn't. What I think I could have done differently, I could have actually put it in a plastic bag and put it in the back side of the trunk, because the heat doesn't usually hit it back there, and it probably would have been a little better. But you know, you live and you learn. So sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. But this is a tactic I like to do. Some people like to put it in the refrigerator. I don't like to do that because I prefer to have some chill to it. And most of the time I'm not drinking these first thing in the morning, because in the morning, like I said, I like to have my hot water and lemon with the cayenne and the Himalayan pink salt. Lately I've also been adding a little pinch of cinnamon, because I haven't been doing sugar, so that gives it the sweetness for me, is putting a little bit of cinnamon. This is my tea that I often drink. This is my tea that I make. It really helps my immunity stay up, stay lit. And I have lemon, dill, and ginger in here. And what I do is I cut everything up and I boil it in the water, and that allows for me to create like a tea. And I just pretty much leave it out and heat it up when I'm ready. And if I don't have my lemon water in the morning, I'll have this instead. And so yeah, that's how my week has been. That's me talking about the water and the changes that I made. I hope that this blesses you. Feel free to share. Feel free to comment. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. I would greatly appreciate it. This is my 6th week staying consistent. I'm grateful to God, because I ain't gonna front y'all. Like I said, this week was challenging. I was like, I don't know about no video this week. But I did it. And that's what it's about, y'all. You always have a choice. You have a choice. And you might not always make the right choice. Jesus. But tomorrow's another day. I'm about to cry. And I just thank God every time he gives me a chance to make another choice. I'm thankful to God for that. Hallelujah. Long as I'm breathing, long as I'm even able to buy water, to be able to have water running out of my sink, alkaline or not, I'm grateful to God. Even if I don't want the salad or I don't want the smoothie. Yeah, I could pull up to the taco truck, which I did this week. I pulled up on that taco truck. But God gave me another chance, and I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful. And so I encourage you guys to make a choice to do something different this week, tomorrow, every day. If you're doing the 21-day change, let me know how it's going. Let me know what you're doing. I'm happy to hear about it. And if you don't want everybody to know, you can DM me. Everybody don't have to know your business. It's between you and the Lord. And if you choose to share, me as well. Thank you guys for watching. God bless.